Hey guys, it's Tony here at Gamefreakblog again, just bringing you another video. This time it's an indie title, a game called Raven Thorne, which has just come out today. Basically, I had no knowledge of this game. I was just flicking through Twitter, and I saw a tweet from Major Nelson on there just saying that there's some kind of indie summer of arcade thing kind of like going on, and this was one of the games. And I looked at the screenshots and I kind of thought, oh, okay, looks kind of interesting, I'll go and check it out. So as I went and checked it out, I went and recorded the gameplay for you, so we're going to jump on that in a second. Firstly, I'd just like to give a few shout outs. First and foremost, a massive shout out to Matt Shotcher for letting me do the commentary on his last episode of Run and Gun, episode 5. I had a real good time recording it. Hopefully I made some kind of pertinent points in it. It was a bit general, but you know, that's the kind of main thing that I get into when I'm jumping into an FPS game. And I had some fantastic feedback from some of his supporters from his channel. They came along and left some comments on my channel. I'm really glad for the interaction, guys. I'm glad that you liked the video. And just from me doing that commentary, my sub count went from 45 to around 58 where it is now, which I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. It's really good. I'm just chuffed. I'm chuffed to bits. I really am. Now basically Matt's going to put that video up on his channel. He's just been waiting for me to record a new game, so you know, I saw this and thought, why not? I'm just going to jump ahead and do it. Now this game is made by a company called Milkstone Studios. It's kind of like a 2D adventure set in like the Norse realms of mythology. So let's just jump into this intro and see what's going on. Helheim, land of the dead. You seem to have passed out there for a while.
Leader of the fallen warriors.
Am I dead? No, just passed out after a heavy night on the mead.
And want you to fight for the gods.
Okay. So as you can see, it's steeped in Norse mythology, and the Ragnarok is the end of the world, and someone doesn't want me to fight for some gods or whatever. I don't know. But essentially, it's kind of like a 2D kind of like hack and slash, if you like. It's not kind of like in the Golden Axe type hack and slash where you can kind of move up and down into the foreground and the background. It's purely played out on a 2D plane. But from the screenshots, it didn't really say a lot. I kind of had a bit of an impression of what the game may be like, and it wasn't until it started and the graphics ran, and you know, I started moving the character around and seeing some of the animations that I actually thought, hold on a second, this could be something quite special. One thing I've always done after Limbo is whenever I play a game is just run all the way over to the left, because there's usually something that you've missed around. But as you can see, it's got like a really good art style to it. I mean, I like 2D games as it is. I think still in this day and age, why there aren't more with the power of the consoles that we've got at the minute, we could have something really nice and 2D. You know, I'm just really still holding out for them to do a souped up current gen version of Castlevania, but like in 2D. I reckon that could be absolutely spectacular. But as you can see, the animation, it's almost got some kind of like paper cutout quality feel to it. It's almost like all the limbs are completely separate. It kind of reminds me of an old game that I used to have on the Mega Drive. I think it came out on the Amiga. Now, forgive me if I get this name wrong. I might put a link up. I should have done some research really, but I think there was a game called Sword of Sodan where you kind of played like a big giant barbarian, and I can just really remember the game at the time having massive sprites, but the characters were kind of made up from separate individual sprites, like there'd be sprites for the legs, sprites for the body, sprites for the arms, the head, yada yada yada, and it's kind of similar to what's going on here. When I saw it, that game instantly shot in my head. Beg your pardon, I've got a bit of a hoarse throat there. But as you can see, the kind of, as you're going through, this is just the introductory level, so it's teaching you what buttons are what and all this kind of thing. Now, the combat at the start is pretty hard to get into because I kept going in and I kept slashing, and the guy kept being knackered, just like you can see there. He just kept standing like he'd just run fucking 10 miles or something like that. But I didn't even notice until it comes up here in a bit. There's a little hint that tells you about your stamina gauge. So basically you've got to kind of run in, hit the enemy with a couple of hits, and then either kind of like block or kind of like use that dash attack to kind of like jump out of the way, because they will kind of like pile up on you and take some damage. You can see him. I was still trying to get used to it here. The button layout is fairly simple. I mean, this is obviously on the Xbox, so A is jump, X is light attack, Y is heavy attack, where you're bringing that big bloody lightning covered hammer. B is block. Your left and right triggers basically just zip you out of this. It's almost like a dodge maneuver. You can jump in and get stuck into the action, or you can jump out again. Your left bumper brings up like magic options. One of the magic options that you kind of see here, it doesn't actually tell you what they are. You kind of hold down the right bumper and press a button, and it just hopes for the best. Now I pressed the yellow button, and it seemed to give me extended stamina, because as you'll see in this next fight that's coming up, I was just jumping in and hacking them to high heaven, and I wasn't getting tired. So there seems to be quite a lot of depth to the game. I know that there's actually kind of like 6 levels. I'm expecting there's going to be some huge boss fights to it and everything like this, but it seems pretty good. The controls are really tight. I was half expecting it to be like a little bit drifty, a little bit laggy on the moves, but it's not at all. It's you know, whatever button that you press, it carries out that response on screen, so that it's pretty tight. I mean, obviously, as you can see there's different levels that you can get. You can like level up. I think you can kind of increase the magic capabilities and everything like this as well. There's on the what's assigned to the right bumper, as you can see just there, is like a combat stance. Again, it doesn't actually tell you what it is there. You can see me cycling through it, and it kind of brings up 2 different variants of a single sword and then 1 double sword. I can only imagine that one's kind of like defensive, one's more kind of like attack, and one's balls out, I'm going to hack the fuck out of your head. So, you know, it's something along those lines, I'm guessing. So as you can see, it's mixing up the enemies a little bit. There's some flying enemies now that are coming in. But just from what I've played, I'm going to buy the game straight away. I mean, it's 240 Microsoft points, so, you know, if you work that out, it's a couple of quid, a couple of dollars. And from what I've played just of this little demo, it seems really, really good. It's the kind of thing with these, I never really look at the indie titles, and what I'm going to do, just after seeing the quality of this game, is I'm going to start to pay a bit more attention to what indie stuff is out there, because if this is anything to go by, I think I'm missing out. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm definitely going to get this. 240 Microsoft points, you know, it's in the bank. So I think this is like the demo coming over here. I like this. See, just as it got into that bit with the rain coming down, I was kind of like, oh, wicked, and then it expired me out. So I didn't actually go in and buy it there, but I'm going to go back and buy it, and I'll probably put up a review of the game, because it looks like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Tony from Gamefreakblog again. We're going to be bringing you some more fun-filled videos this week, so please stay tuned. So until that point, guys, you take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.